So we actually didn't have a typical child that wasn't ready for school, I think, like, yeah, Jane's there. But she'd probably agree that Bella, in theory, would be ready for school if I didn't look at a bigger picture and think that actually a year more of playing in this environment and at home would be better for her. It really felt like we didn't have another option, but I didn't feel comfortable with it because I felt like it was too young and too formal. But kind of felt like we would just give it a go and hope that it was all right, and if it wasn't, we'd kind of reevaluate. So she went in August, and she was okay. Bella's quite a happy kid, and she just kind of, we'd kind of made the decision if she wasn't happy, we'd just take her straight out, which in my head was quite a straightforward decision. But yet she wasn't unhappy, she was actually quite happy most of the time. So the decision to take her out was actually quite a tricky one. It was not based on her not being happy, but it was based on us not feeling it was the best thing for her. They spent the first term really focusing on learning all the letters of the alphabet. And it was done really nicely, all through songs and actions, and I actually thought the way they did it was nice and good, and Bella really liked it. But she got obsessed with it. She could never not sing the songs. So from when she woke up in the morning to when she went to sleep at night, 7 days a week she was singing the alphabet songs. And like in a happy way. But I felt like she was exhausted by it, like mentally exhausted. She could never switch off and just be in imaginary play. And I think that is one of the things about formal learning too young. That was my experience of it starting. It was like a black box that you put your child into, and you were completely separate. The only inclusion you had was trying to get your child to do this terrible homework.
Right.
There was loads of it, and really, really uncreative and dull worksheets that had just been printed off the internet that were just more formal learning, going over the letters that they'd spent all day doing in school. Somewhere in the small print of the school handbook it said it wasn't obligatory, the homework, which is not. But they don't give you that vibe at all. I've got friends who've got little boys who absolutely didn't want to do it, but they felt that they had to do it. So it was this family battle. So they had a tired child after school, aged 4, trying to make them do homework. And I suppose I just became more and more convinced that it wasn't the right thing, but didn't know what to do. Like I had this suggestion that maybe I could just propose to the school that she went one day less, that we just took her out of school on a Friday. And I was pretty much sure that the school would say no. And I went to the school and proposed it, and the head teacher was not at all anti it. It really took me by surprise, and said, well, I don't know about the logistics of it and the kind of how it could work. I need to check with Edinburgh Council, but if that's for the benefit of your child, I don't see why we can't try and make that work. And by the end of the day, he came back from Edinburgh Council with the homeschool forms and said, I've checked and that should be fine. You just need to fill in these forms because officially you'll be homeschooling for 1 or 2 days a week. And then I had a meeting with Edinburgh Council, the inclusion person, who said, oh, that's flexi schooling. Yeah, no problem. And no one had ever, that I knew, had heard of this term flexi schooling. But it's a Scottish government policy that says that as long as people feel that the child's educational needs are being met, and that doesn't have to follow the curriculum or anything, or school hours, that the school has to agree to it. It's not actually the school's decision, it's the council that makes the decision. But the school was really supportive of it. I didn't obviously ever wish her to come out of school unhappy, but if she had come out of school unhappy during the first week or 2 or 3, we'd have gone, oh, she's really unhappy, clearly let's take her out. But it took till Christmas for us to take her out 100% because, and even then it wasn't a clear decision. Until I knew it was an option, I didn't put it to Bella. Like, we had to kind of create that option. I didn't want to confuse her in that. And she was really willing.
Right.
She wanted to.
Yeah.
She just felt, it was more her friends that she'd made at school.
Yeah.
And and as soon as I said, oh, we could still see those friends outside school, then she was happy.